Hey guys, this week I read a memoir called Educated by Tara Westover. I actually give this book somewhere between 4 and 5 stars. I think it is a wonderful read and it certainly rates really high as well among the reader communities. And if this is something that you're interested in, let me tell you a little bit about it. Something else that I thought was enjoyable, but it actually sounds weird to say that because it's a real experience that real people went through, but it just really pushed the novel along, was that it gets a little bit suspenseful. I guess halfway through the book, when we start to see Tara and one of her family members have this really real, scary kind of conflict, and the tension really builds, and you want to know what is going to happen to this person and how they're going to end up fixing this situation. So it makes the novel really gripping for a memoir because you want to know what's going to happen. So it really is a page turner for a true account. And again, that feels really weird to say because it's actually sad. And somebody's real experience and complication that she's going. Here's something that I guess I didn't think about until later on when I was looking at some criticism of the book. So if you do choose to read this novel, it'd be really great just to read it with a critical eye. And this is actually something that Tara does explore in her novel, and that is how much of the account is 100% true what happened and how much of it is her memory, which may be faulty, and how much of it is it her perception versus somebody else's perception or interpretation of the true events that actually happened for the entire family experiencing these ordeals. So it gets some criticism for that. Some people say they don't believe it. But what I did see was interesting is that her brother, one of the oldest brothers, actually came out and said it followed the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the novel and all of the facts that were laid out and big events and things that the audience needs to understand were accurate and it all happened. And the 20% is maybe some of the details that might be a bit muddled because of her memory or her perception of something happening being different than somebody else's perception, or what somebody actually intended being different than what she was perceiving. So that's some of the criticism that it gets, but I just think that's all the more reason to read it and think about what you're reading with a critical eye and think about who the audience is and the message that Westover is trying to convey. So I gave this book anywhere between a 4 and 5 stars. I couldn't really decide which one it was. It was a really, really enjoyable memoir. I will say, as far as triggers, there is some family and domestic violence. There's some pretty catastrophic events that happen. They do talk about bipolar disorder and some neglect in the family as well. So So I will divulge this, and it's not a spoiler because you read it right on the book jacket, is that Tara does decide that she wants to go to college after having absolutely no experience in any sort of formal school or educational system whatsoever. And it does happen. So it's really interesting to see that unfolds, but I felt like you needed to know that that was another direction that this book takes before you decide if you want to pick it up. So I do hope that you choose to read this novel. It's really a great one. But if you don't, I hope you are reading something else, and it's great. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.